standing outside the door of love and mercy. You wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. Well, the Spirit waits with open arms. It's calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved and you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Come on in. Come on in. You'll find a place of rest in the arms of Spirit. It's waited so long for your homecoming day. It knows the peace you need and the hurt you're feeling. We want to hold you and to wipe your tears away. Where the doors unlocked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved and you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Come on in. There is room enough in the home of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved and you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Come on in. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. 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 Oh, come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, for the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Sing, choirs of angels, sing in exaltation. Sing, all ye citizens of heaven above. Glory to God, all glory in the highest. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord.
Welcome to Unity of Wilmington's hybrid service. We're glad to have you here today to help us celebrate this holiday season along with the celebration singers, our music director, Deese. A big welcome to our soloist, Kelsey McCrary, the band, Justin Lacy, John Hill, and the Reverend Mindy Tucker, who will be giving the lesson. We are a community united in love, whether we're online or we're in person. And we are expanding consciousness and inspiring personal transformation as we remember these 3 affirmations. You are a beloved expression of God. You are here for a holy purpose, and you're here at the right place at the right time right now.
I hear the bells, they're ringing loud and clear. You can't help but love this time of year. It's Christmas time, there's something in the air. There's a little bit of heaven everywhere. Somehow there's a little more of love. Maybe there's a little less of us. Or maybe we're just slightly more aware. There's a little bit of heaven everywhere. It's the smile on a man who has finally found hope. It's the tears of a mother whose child has come home. It's the joy that we feel and the love that we share. There's a little bit of heaven everywhere. There's a little bit of heaven everywhere. It's funny how it takes a holiday to show us how the world could truly change. If we all took the time to really care, there'd be a little more of heaven everywhere. It's the place that we show to a world that needs hope. It's giving our lives, knowing they're not our own. It's the joy that we feel and the love that we share. There's a little bit of heaven everywhere. There's a little bit of heaven everywhere. Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Hallelujah, hallelujah. It's the joy that we feel and the love that we share. There's a little bit of heaven everywhere. There's a little bit of heaven everywhere. There's a little bit of heaven everywhere.
Thank you so much, Kelsey. A little bit of heaven everywhere. Last Sunday, we were blessed because we had a little bit of heaven come in and show up as 6 amazing angel beings who decorated. See, we now have a Christmas tree and some garland, and along the sides of the sanctuary, there are lights and doohickeys and things like that. So, yes, this is a good place to be where there's a little bit of heaven. Over this holiday season, Reverend Nikki and I have been looking at different classic Christmas movies. Last week, she highlighted spiritual lessons found in the Polar Express, and 2 weeks ago, I spoke about Home Alone. And I was very sneaky me. I even slipped in a metaphysical interpretation of Die Hard. But really, what makes these movies, classic Christmas movies, is number one, they're really good movies. They're good movies. They have a message. They have a theme. They take place at Christmas. We talked about how all the things that make a Christmas movie, but they're really good. And the second thing is that people watch them. And they watch them every year. Every year, people, thousands of viewers tune into these classic Christmas movies, except for maybe some people. Because I had a mother who did not allow us to watch very much television. When I was growing up, it was like go outside and play or read a book. And it was great for my brother and I. It was great in developing our imagination because we went outside and one of our favorite games was, let's pretend how to survive on a deserted island, or let's put on a show. I did watch a few movies like Gene Kelly, and anyways, let's put on a show. And we had these grand theatrical productions, or we played football. And then I was an avid reader, so I consumed just about any book anybody put in front of me. That's my very long way of saying I pretty much missed out on the tradition or developing the tradition of watching these classic Christmas movies. Now, as an adult, since I had kids, I got to watch A Charlie Brown Christmas, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and Home Alone. But also as an adult, I've been very slow to pick up on those older Christmas movies. And we were in a meeting this week here at Unity of Wilmington, and our music director, Deese, sitting right over here, she tosses out this question about Miracle on 34th Street, and I was like, and she said, excuse me? I said, I don't think I've ever seen it. I mean, the look on her face was like, how is that possible that somebody who grew up in middle-class America has never seen Miracle on 34th Street? Well, I want you to know I have seen it now. I watched it on Friday. And tonight, I'm going to see It's a Wonderful Life for the first time. So, I mean, see, miracles happen all the time. But I am, totally caught up now with you. So, Miracle on 34th Street was a movie that was released in 1947. It starred Natalie Wood in this black and white version. It starred Natalie Wood as the little girl Susan. Maureen O'Hara was her mother. John Payne was Mr. Gailey, the lawyer who lived across the hall. And Kris Kringle was played by Edmund Gwynn. Thank you very much. Anyway, I did see the movie. I swear I saw the movie. Anyway, the plot goes like this. Kris Kringle, a man by the name of Kris Kringle, is hired to play a department store Santa. And he believes that people have forgotten the meaning of Christmas, the true meaning of Christmas. And I think that in itself is a spiritual metaphor that applies to everybody in the world. Because there are people in the world, in fact, all people to some degree, have forgotten, if they've ever known, what the true meaning of Christmas is. And he is there to remind Mrs. Walker and her daughter Susan what that is. And he says this exactly. Christmas isn't just a day, it's a frame of mind. And this is such a unity message. It is such a unity message because Christmas isn't just a day. Christmas is a consciousness. Christmas is that activity of reawakening or rebirthing, if you will, that our own divine nature. We have it all. We have it all within us. We were born with our own spiritual essence, our own Christ light, our own divine nature. But in the course of life, we forgot or we forget. We forget. The collective helps us and supports us to forget. And really, when you look at Miracle on 34th Street, it's the quintessential message of the prodigal son from Christian scriptures. Now, in the movie, The prodigal son is represented by Mrs. Walker and her daughter, Susan. But they have everything within them to live an amazing life, and yet they've adopted a belief system, a way of living that while it supports them in their current existence, it doesn't support their highest good. And if that is true for them metaphysically, then it's true for us too. So what is it about our divine nature that we have forgotten? What is it about our divine nature that we have set aside, that we're afraid of? Whoa, big question. What is it? I'll just ask it because ministers can. What is it about our divine nature that we've been so afraid of, that we've set aside, and we've learned to survive one way, and then we get invited to remember. We get invited to expand our consciousness. In the movie, the first person who makes that invitation for Susan and her mother to expand their consciousness is the neighbor across the hall, Mr. Gailey, the lawyer. And then in comes Kris Kringle into their lives and said, yes, it's all about expanding consciousness. It's about living Christmas every day as a consciousness, as a mindset. I think one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves is to be open to discovery. It's that openness to learning. It's that curiosity. It's a gift we can give to ourselves that says no matter where we are or what we're doing, we can wake up, we can reawaken, we can rebirth that amazing self that is within us and let it out so that we can live the life of our dreams. It's about being open. It's about being curious. Like the pathway is curiosity. The pathway is wonder. I wonder as I wander, right? It's about opening those pathways. The 2 years I lived in Connecticut, I was a member of a study group organized by the rabbi. So it was the rabbi and me. It was a Lutheran minister and a pastor from the Church of Christ. And we would get together every week, and we read through the entire book of Psalms. And then each one of us gave our interpretation of whatever we just read. So I learned a lot about our fundamental beginnings. And they learned a little bit about metaphysics. They learned a little bit about New Thought. But all of us, each of us learned that there can be a different perspective. That regardless of the situation that we're in, whether we know some or we know a lot about it, or we have the audacity to think we know it all, there is something more for us to learn. And when whatever situation we're in, whatever experience we're having in, if we approach it from that teachable place, that teachable consciousness in our mind, to say, I wonder what I can learn from this, then there's something new to discovery. Our consciousness expands, and we are living more from our divinity, shining more of our Christ light, expressing more of those innate faculties that we're born with, like love and wisdom and understanding and faith and zeal and life. So, back to the movie. Back to the movie. I think there's some really wonderful lessons for us in this time from the movie. And did I skip one slide? Yes, I did. It's there. I think the first lesson is the greatest Goodwill policy. Now, I know I picked it up because I'm in Unity, and I have this Unity view, and I'm always looking for the good. But when Kris Kringle takes on this job as the department store Santa, and he begins to suggest that the customer service, the customer satisfaction is the most important thing, it's a big mind shift for Macy's that is used to saying, this is what we've got, please tell children that they want what we've got. When a child wants a fire truck, he says, I know we don't have it here at Macy's, but you can find it at such and such store. The greatest Goodwill policy is actually following commandment number 10 of Moses' 10 commandments, which is do not covet the good or the wealth of your neighbor. It's a backwards way of reminding us that God is our source of supply. That when we take that step back and we remember that God is the source of our supply, then competition is really a waste of time. We want the customer to be happy. Unity of Wilmington wants you to be happy. We want you to remember that God is the source of your supply, not the thing that your neighbor has that I don't want you to know about. It's God is our source. So this becomes the great Goodwill policy of Macy's. It was a revolutionary idea in the industry. And what Macy's began to do, and then other stores in New York City began to do, is to reciprocate and saying, I'm sorry, we don't have that here, but I know where you can find it, at Gimbel's or at such and such store down the street. Georgiana Tree West is a Unity minister. She was the Unity minister of Unity of New York from 1936 to 1959. And she says this about the 10th Commandment. We continue to rejoice because really the 10th Commandment is saying don't covet what somebody else has, celebrate what they have. We continue to rejoice knowing that this same bounty is ours for our acceptance. Don't miss this. It's ours for our acceptance. It's there. The bounty is there. We have to accept it. We have to be open and receptive to it. It's there already. So if you feel like you're missing something in your life, that you're wanting something that you see other people having, it's already there for you. Don't miss it. All you have to do is accept it. Through our faith, the equivalent of our neighbor's good can appear in our own lives. The equivalent. It may not be identical in appearance, but it will be the same good adapted to our needs in such a way to bring us the greatest joy. Modern-day mystic Alan Cohen says it in a little bit different way. He says there is no private good. So if it's good for me, it's good for you. If it's good for you, then it's good for me. If it really is the highest and best good for you, then let's celebrate that. Let's rejoice in that. Because that, and when I say that, I mean like fill in the blank. If is good for you, if your success is good for you, it's good for everybody. If your choice to follow a protocol for a diagnosis, fill in that blank, is good for you, then it's good for everybody. If it's good for you to go out and buy that new holiday outfit, then it's good for everybody. If it's good for you not to take that trip, then it's good for everybody. Our highest and best, when we come from choosing our highest and best good, it's like all boats rise on the same tide. When we choose our highest and best good, we are automatically lifting the collective consciousness. I mean, it's like no pressure. But the collective consciousness benefits. It's not like they're not going to have their good if we don't do our good, but they're going to have their good faster if we choose our good and not worry about trying to get somebody else's good. It's the greatest goodwill policy. Second lesson, the power of imagination. Susan is a practical child. She's been raised that way. She's gone to a progressive school. Her mother does not believe in reading fairy tales to her or fantasies of any kind, because Mrs. Walker believes that that will create an unhealthy mental conflict. It will actually be a disservice to her because it'll create a myth, something that Susan could actually never actually have the experience of. So why set her up for heartache? It's a really tough consciousness to crack. But Susan happens to see some children playing in her building basement, and they have set up a zoo, and some of the children are pretending to be animals. It's unfathomable for Susan that someone could pretend to do that. Why would they pretend to do that? Why would I pretend to be an animal? I'm a girl. I'm a girl. Can't you see? This is a fact. I'm a girl. Can't you see that I'm a girl? So she asked Kris Kringle about it, and he says, all you have to do is use the power of your imagination. And she said, imagination, what's that? What an opportunity to reawaken. He teaches her how to be a monkey. And she actually enjoys it. He says, imagination is a gift. It's up to you to use it. Imagination is that innate capacity. We're born with imagination, but it's like a muscle, and it gets stronger as we use it. Lesson number 3 is the importance of faith. Mrs. Walker, as I said, was a tough nut to crack, but slowly, she starts to see what we would call the light. She starts to see a different way of being. But before her transformation, this is what she says. It's so sad. She says, we've got to be realistic and face facts. It's not a question of faith. It's common sense. And Mr. Gailey's response to her is that faith is believing when common sense tells you not to. Yeah, we got a nice little thunderstorm going on outside. It must be true. Just say, is it true? Okay, it's true for me. Is it true for you? Okay. So, slowly. Okay, I'll just read what Kris Kringle says. If you can't believe, if you can't accept, keyword accept, say accept. Accept, okay. If you can't accept anything on faith, then you are doomed for a life dominated by doubt. So if you can't accept anything on faith, then you're doomed to a life dominated by doubt. Faith. We've got all the faith that we're ever going to have. So the big question becomes is how much of your faith are you accepting into your conscious mind? And what are you accepting with that faith? Are you accepting that life is going to be hard? Are you accepting that the holidays are always difficult? Are you accepting that you will never feel prosperous? Are you accepting that you will never experience good health again? Are you accepting that you don't have enough friends? What part of you, because if we see it out there, it is in here. If it's in them, it's in us. It's metaphysics. But what in you are you amplifying with your faith? Are you amplifying that commercialism in Christmas? Or are you amplifying your true nature, your Christ nature, your own divinity, expressing as joy and generosity? Yeah. I'm going to rock back and forth on my red boots. Today we invited people, if they wanted to wear red. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. I can do it without falling over. I have red boots, red earrings. We got red dresses, red sweaters, red leaves on shirts, and we've got all kinds of red. Because red can be an invitation to remind us what season we're in, and to awaken, and to make shifts in our consciousness, and to imagine a life different than the one we have right now. We can imagine a life that is truly an expression of our highest and best. We can make those shifts like Mrs. Walker did, so that she opened her mind a little bit more to recognize the joy of living. To Mr. Gailey, the lawyer, who opened his mind a little bit more so that he got that divine idea of how to prove in court that Kris Kringle was Santa Claus in the eyes of the law. And Susan, who opened her mind by her willingness to share with Kris Kringle that she wanted a house for Christmas. And she had a picture of it, and she visualized it. And she visualized how it would feel when she got into that house. She used the power of her imagination, and she began to say affirmations like, I believe, I believe, I believe. And she'd remember her mother, even if I feel silly, even if it feels silly to me to say that I believe, that desire to express her faith, to accept the goodness of the universe that was there for her. I believe, I believe, I believe. So let's say that together so that we can anchor our own consciousness in a broader direction. I can't even say new, because so many of us are on that path of expansion. So many of us have been on a spiritual path for a long time. We're actually on it for, all the time, but we're not always aware of it. But so many of us have been consciously aware that we're on this spiritual path. Even if it feels silly to our family, or it feels silly to our friends, or people who don't understand New Thought or metaphysics, it's our path. And we have the opportunity to believe, to believe, to believe. Whew. I believe, I believe, I believe, even if it's silly. I believe. Let's say that together. I believe, I believe, I believe. Even if it's silly, I believe. So let's take a breath. Come back into our bodies. Come back into our hearts. And come into a time of meditation. Celebrating and rejoicing that we are consciously aware of our spiritual journey, that we are consciously aware of our teachability, of our openness to learning, our openness to discovery. And then we expand our minds, expand our consciousness, expand that framework, that construct that is our belief system, to amplify our divine nature, to amplify compassion in our hearts, to knowing that service to ourselves and service to others is an expression of our highest and best. To draw on our innate capacity, to draw on the power of our imagination, to paint a picture of what we want, Do we want more time with grandchildren? Do we want to start that business? Do we want our writing to be published in a prestigious journal? Do we want to serve the homeless? Do we want to give generously to our spiritual community? Do we want to co-create resolution and new ways of being in society, in healing the divide, in easing fears? In inviting optimal wellness, optimal well-being? Can you visualize yourself shining your Christ light so brightly that your consciousness, your loving, compassionate, wise, zest-filled, happy consciousness creates that higher tide for which all of humanity rises? All of humanity rises as you accept your good, accept on faith your potential, not only on Christmas Day, but every day. Every day, your success in the world benefits others. Your choices benefit others. Unity of Wilmington is so grateful that you have been born on this planet at this time for this purpose. You are the light of Christ. I believe, I believe, I believe. Say it to yourself. I believe, I believe, I believe. Even if it's silly, I believe. For it is our belief that has come to save humankind. In great gratitude for your presence, your commitment, and your acceptance, we say thank you, thank you, thank you, and amen. Take a breath. Come back to this room and let the joy of Christmas live in your heart.
Wishes can come true. I believe in miracles. I believe in magic too. I believe in Santa Claus and I believe in you. I believe in family and country and in smiles. I believe in turning negatives to positives in life. I believe in looking for promise and it never goes away. I believe in our journey is another stepping stone, and looking at our troubles as another stepping stone. I believe there's always I believe I believe in Santa Claus. I believe in Santa Claus. Everybody sing. I believe in Santa Claus. I believe in Santa Claus. I believe there's always hope when all seems so lost. And I believe in Santa Claus.
Well, what can we do if I believe?
No, it is the season for believing in Santa Claus and for believing in the law of circulation that we see in action, that giving and receiving that brings us joy and abundance. And if you would like to share the joy of giving with Unity of Wilmington, you can support Unity of Wilmington by donating online, unitywill.com, on Facebook, by using Venmo, by mail, or as you leave, you can put it in the basket. We appreciate your generosity and look forward to the receiving the good that you will receive.
Yes, so let's say accept. Accept. I accept my good. I accept my good. And why? Because I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe. Even if it feels silly, I believe.